her, it was when I first started grad school and had first decided that I wanted to work in human resources. $11 and $11.50, and she was telling me that I was working on a degree and I should be making more money. How about that time we were trying to win whatever from
Don't take it. No.
I had one HR leader who just thought everybody hated us and that we needed to just make a schedule of who all the fire. And I was like,
I don't understand what she's saying. Her attitude is a little more brash than mine. I'm like, I just can't. Like, I cannot. She's not gonna good morning me back. Like,
like, this ain't even on fake shit. Like,
none.
This is my girl.
None.
Like, it kills me when she talks about her lack of motivation, because I don't think I would have been in an area in my career where I am. I don't think I would have really figured it out without her. Though when I was. Hey y'all, this is Tamika, the face behind Hey HR. Listen guys, y'all think that just because you work in human resources, you can't have friends. I've seen quite a few videos on YouTube where like it's gotten like 50,000 views in a week and like hundreds and thousands, well, just insane amount of comments, and everybody's like,
oh no, HR and your friend, they stabbed me in the back, da da da.
Just remember that HR and that company are individual HRs and individual company. Everybody ain't the same. I have met several of my closest friends like while I've been working as an HR professional, working to become one. When I saw those videos, I was like, oh my God, like, do they think this is why people ain't watching my channel? Like, this why people, like, I don't know what, my mind went all over the place. Now, HR can be some dirty folks. And then maybe that's why I've had a struggle of finding the right fit of a company for me, because I had one HR leader who just thought everybody hated us and that we needed to just make a schedule of who all the fire, and I was like,
honey girl, I'm the wrong girl.
I quit that job because that ain't me. If you want to know all about my friends that I've accumulated over the years, then definitely keep watching. I'm going to shift to the friend that I found when I first realized that I wanted to start working in HR, and I was in grad school. So we started working together at a place that is both of our like worst places to ever work. We hated working there. But now she is my best friend. Y'all hear me talk about Tara all the time. She made my Hey HR t-shirts. Like, she is my girl. That has been my #1 for years. I mean, definitely a decade. This girl got every aspect of my life in her hands, and like, if I die today or tomorrow, she can totally like pick up and take care of everything for me. When I found her, it was when I first started grad school and had first decided that I wanted to work in human resources. So y'all, take a peek at me and my bestie, Tara. Well, people see ourselves.
Oh gosh.
There's no rehearsing. There's no need to be nervous.
Yes. Are you recording already?
No, I'm not recording.
Yes, it is.
That's how
it says recording.
Oh, we look cute with our shirts, Tara.
Yeah. You tried to copy me.
You copy me. I bought it.
I had mine on
Damn,
first.
we literally bought it at the same time too. Didn't
Yes.
we? You did have yours on first, but that's only because you were thinking about shirts that we both have.
That's not why at all.
The other shirt you thought about is one that we both have.
But that I just was just trying to find something to wear. I said, let me put on something that looks decent.
You got a closet full of shit. You wanted to dress like me.
Well, first and foremost, it was hot, and I didn't want to put on a long sleeve shirt because I gotta let the guns be out.
The guns. Oh, okay, let me see the guns first. Cheers.
Cheers.
To a Hey HR shirt. Cut.
Well, you ain't got on a Hey HR shirt.
Because I wanted us to dress alike since we besties.
But I almost made me one that said Hey HR supporter.
You should. You should have. I need to see it.
I said that's too much.
Why?
Because I'm lazy. It was too much that I just didn't feel like it.
I would totally do it for you if I know how to make sure. Y'all, this is my bestie. I absolutely love her. In the workplace, you can easily find friends. There's some people that are valuable. Obviously, you gotta use discernment. Like, don't just dive in and think that everybody your bestie, because that ain't it. We first met, first of all, on a job that we both hate. Literally, I think we both can say that this is like our worst job ever, that we both absolutely hated this of all the jobs we've ever had.
Absolute god-awful worst job.
Worst job
I
ever.
literally just found, when I was at my mom's house a couple weekends ago, I found my counseling packet.
Oh, did you?
I got in
You
trouble
only found
for
one?
excessive phone. It was like 7 pages. I think that's enough.
Oh my god,
Excessive
girl. I got
phone
like 7
calls.
packets. at that time we were trying to win whatever from
I'm taking
Z93.
No, was it the Steve Harvey Morning Show or was it Z93? We were trying to go to a concert.
We were trying to win something.
Oh,
it was
boy.
something on the radio.
We should have got fired that day.
We literally should have. They checked their
walked
call
out
log
that day.
Well, and we ain't even had like quick readout on that bitch. We
No.
just.
You got it. No.
You got it over there? Okay, I'm trying to Okay. All right, let me calm down the energy because, you know, me and her, we have a pretty good time together. We try to ease that out a little bit better, but let me tell y'all something. That's my girl. When we initially met, when I first met you, right? We were only chocolate sisters in our department.
Only 2 out of, 7 or 8?
Yeah.
It was just like...
And our little department was supposed to be like the escalated department or whatever.
We were the elite.
We were the elite. I was not all that comfortable at that job because, first of all, that's something I had never done before.
Me either.
And the lady that was training me, Lori, I know, because that's your little friend. Y'all still friends? I would be tagging me and shit. We can put up some pictures so you can tag me. Anyhow, she played like she had liked my ass in front of Tara. Bitch didn't like me.
Well, I didn't like it at first either. So
We neither one of us liked each other, right?
We just go, let's start from the beginning.
Start from the beginning. Oh, Lord. Tell it.
No. I want to let you tell it because you remember the details far better than I. But
No,
when you say
tell.
something, then it'll
Then you
cue me.
remember?
It'll remind me.
I was like, I gotta like this girl because she's the only chocolate sister. I need a connection. They had little conversations. Apparently, they had like a little gathering or something right before I started at somebody's house. And they all went there. And I was like, this bitch went to these people's house. Like, she know these people don't mean her no fucking good.
They loved me.
They loved you. Everybody loves you though. I was like, okay, she's too cool with them. I don't like her. But she was the only one who legit like repetitively checked on me to see if I needed help. You know, especially after leaving.
We're going to time out because you're going to tell these fine people exactly why you didn't like me coming in the door. Coming in the shop.
Why? Because you act like a little white girl?
That wasn't the reason. He's talking about, ooh, she think her hair real.
If I can find that picture, I'm putting that picture in right
Do
here.
not.
This chick here all the way down. Y'all can see. I mean, you can look at this. If she had this hair permed out, obviously it'd be all the way down here. Bitch just cut her hair. My shit would have still been a little hill. That's the craziest thing. I had looked at her and what made me say, oh, she ain't for me, right? Because she had her hair like, used to wear your hair with the pins, right? And I was like, oh, she said something about washing her hair or something like that. And I was like, oh, yeah, I need to perm mine too or something like that. And she was like, oh, no, I had a perm in a couple years.
So that's her reasoning.
But she ain't had perm in a couple. Oh, yeah, she really thinks she white. She got them white people here and shit too. One of her parents like mixed her some shit. And I come a long way. We've been knowing each other how long?
A lot of years.
A lot of years.
Over a decade.
Over a decade. So
decade.
I don't come a long way. I don't judge people that quickly anymore. I'm definitely more mature. And she would just come around and just make all of their day. And I was like, they really, really love her. And I don't think they like me.
Like, that's just how I am. Like, I want to see people not sucking at life. So when I come in, I'm like, good morning.
Yeah.
You know, let's bring the sunshine a little bit. Like, we're going to be here enjoying this shitty ass day.
Yeah.
Might as well, you know, have somebody come in and try to
really,
brighten up a little bit.
You definitely are like that. Like, you still like that to this day or whatever. So it's...
Tamika comes in the shop and I'm like, oh my God, you know, we got another brown girl. This is going to be awesome. Like, you know, those girls are cool, but no one in the shop can relate to me. This is going to be fine. And then I see her and I'm like, oh, she don't seem like, you know, she like my type of people. Like, you know, here I am all, hey, good morning. And she's like, good morning. And I'm like,
wasn't that bad.
But it wasn't just a good morning.
Testifying people the truth, like you say.
I don't even want to say, I can't even mock how you speak, but it was your dialect. That I was like, oh no. She from Choketown. Ain't nothing I do. I don't understand what she's saying. Her attitude is a little more brash than mine. I'm like, I just can't. Like, I cannot. She's not gonna good morning me back. Like, I'm gonna go right over here in this corner. I'm gonna check on you, make sure you're good. Hey, girl, you got it?
The crazy thing is we both from like the rural parts of Charleston, but I was kind of immersed into the city of Charleston kind of earlier on. And that's what I do, growing up, did all about like migrations and like the Mount Pleasant area, the North Charleston area. We would stay in North Charleston from time to time. Like, I like the beachy, like I picked that up real quick, been real comfortable with it.
And
but
I'm from Monk's Corner.
She's from Monk's Corner.
So no
I'm
one
from
knows where that
McClenaville.
is. That's like the backwoods.
No,
the
nobody ever know
cows,
where McClenaville is.
And no one ever even heard that. The dirt road. And me going to the city was like coming to North Charleston to go to the mall. Or, we're going to go to the town of Monk's Corner, or you know, like that was my big adventure.
See, I don't even remember where we clicked. I think over time we clicked because of your persistence in checking on. And so I had appreciated that because our boss and our leaders would like hand me on things I didn't do well, but I'm like, but you're not checking on me, like you're not helping me, and you did that, and I truly started like kind of breaking down my wall too.
It was a ton of shit that I did wrong too.
Really?
Like, I don't know what to do. Like, medical billing and code is not my background. I
Ain't
just need a
mine
job.
either.
Like, I need to get out the house, friend. Like,
I had
this is
just
all
need to
this
keep
was.
that car. I had just buy. I won't be having a job.
So I'm just looking at like, how do you guys love me? And I clearly don't know what I'm doing either. Like, it would be like trial and error. Like, let me try this code today. If it come back tomorrow, I guess that's the wrong one. Like, the shop will correct it, and I'm just like, I'm surprised I ain't not get fired because
they write you up for every
because
little thing.
they literally wrote us up for everything.
I can't even say how long, but for a long time, I always bring my lunch to work. I used to heat up my lunch and take it to the car because the lunchroom would be just full of people. But she had a little lunch buddy. She had a friend.
That's not what you guys think.
So she'd be like, you want to come eat with us? But while she's saying this all happy, her friend looking like,
Don't you invite me, bitch.
like, Richard, you better say
better
no.
not.
I was like, no, I don't care. I would always like be on the phone with my friend. One day he was like, let's go out to lunch. And she was shocked to see that I was going out to lunch. But she didn't know I was going to lunch until you had asked me again if I wanted to eat lunch. And this time she didn't ask me in front of my friend. I think she had picked up on the fact that girl didn't want me to come. So this time she asked me ahead of time. And I was like, yeah. And I was like, but I'm going to lunch with a friend of mine. She was like, okay, cool. I'll go too. Because by this time we had done kind of warm up to each other, got real cool. And she went with me, and like all three of us had a blast. And but there's some big things that during our time working together, I feel were huge for me. So the first thing that was huge for me is I had literally just started my first semester of grad school. Didn't think it was a big thing because when I first started, I was on like this trial error because my GPA was low in undergrad because I went through being a domestic violence survivor, having a baby, working full time, like crazy thing. So my GPA was low out of undergrad. So they made me take like less classes going into grad school. And she was like, so what are you working on? Because I would take my breaks to study for school. Oh, I just started grad school. Like this ain't nothing. I'm just read this chapter real quick. And she was like, grad school? So you already got like a bachelor's degree? I was like,
Mind
yeah.
blown.
That's why you gotta be careful with your insecurities and stuff though, because you will have an insecurity and not realize that someone else thinks it's such an amazing thing. Because for me, it was like, this is my backup plan because my plan didn't work. And I'm just trying to figure out a plan. But for her, it was motivation to tell me so many things. So
It was such a huge accomplishment in my mind though, because I'm like, wow, like you're young, you're a mom, like you've already tried nursing, you've already gotten to the point where you decided, hey, that's not my thing, I don't really want to do that. And now you working on a master's degree, friend? And you a single mom? Like, I ain't even finished my associates yet, and I got a man. That was my thought process. Like, here I am struggling, and you working on it. That wasn't my thing.
Yeah, well, you went out of high school straight into the military, so that was different too.
It was different. I mean, but that was no excuse. I had all the time.
Yeah, but you literally started a career, so
I did. But it's not that I didn't have the opportunity to go to school. I was just lazy.
we used to have a printer. The printer wasn't in our office, but only certain people could print to this printer. So you have to run outside the office to this wall. And so she was like, you print your pay stub? And I was like, yeah. Because she literally walked around when I had it up on the screen. So I was going to pull it down real quick because, you know, everybody said, you can't share pay information. So I'm like, oh, yeah. And she was like, oh, good. I'm about to print mine, too. And she was like, you want me to get yours? I said, yeah. So I print mine. She print hers. She goes to the printer to get it. She comes back to my cube and she's like, friend. You working on a master's degree, right? I ain't know where the hell it's coming from. Mm-hmm. You know I only make 50 cents less than you.
No associates, nothing.
Tara was making $11. I was making $11.50. And we were like,
what?
A whole master's degree. That's what she said. She paid me more because of my degree.
50 cents more. More. It was more.
We went on a mission to get the hell up out there ever since. And Tara really helped us find a job. It kills me when she talks about her lack of motivation because I don't think I would have been in an area in my career where I am. I don't think I would have really figured it out without her. Though when I wasn't working in human resources when I started with her, the idea of being a human resources professional started at that job. And I thought it was so cool. Like, we never saw her. We only need to see her doing open a room and something happening, and she was like, yeah, I work in the Charlotte office or something, and I go to our different offices when they need me. And I thought, wow, that seemed pretty interesting. And everything she was saying, I enjoyed. I was just like, wow, like all in it. When other people are like, man, it's over yet. And I'm like, all in it. Like, so I got a question. And I had to stop because everybody looked like, but you come up with one more question. But Tar enlightening me about my pay was like, okay, I need to get out of here. I think those were the biggest things, besides the fact that Tar was the one that found us the job. So she finds us this, she's like, friend,
we gotta get the hell out of here.
Like, well, no shit, Sherlock. What are you thinking? She's like, I got us a job. Here's your application.
Pull them out.
Like, you don't got the application for me? No, just fill them out now. Scan them in. We can scan them on these people's computer.
It was horrible.
Oh, it was
like
horrible.
We had to figure out something. If you breathe too loud in that department, you about to get written out.
Oh yeah,
like,
and I
was
was 2 seconds from getting fired, so I needed the job.
Yeah.
And I went to her and I went venting because this was my first time telling somebody how many times I got written out, and for work mistakes, not something like behavior, not tardiness, not anything that was against company policy. It was just work, and it was like, just train me and I won't get written up. And then she was like, so when did your write up happen? Just a minute ago. I just got a shit back. Couldn't be. Yeah, no, mine just happened. Well, I just got written up, friend. Oh, you getting written up too?
Oh, yes.
Then I realized she was not the teacher's pet.
I don't know what happened. I fell from grace.
It really is my friend. She's getting written up too.
I was doing well until you came to the shop. Like,
Oh,
I was in
gosh.
no trouble at all.
I don't think they liked us being friends.
No.
Well, they didn't like, we knew that they didn't like us being friends at all, but we definitely applied to the ASP job. I went from $11.50, Tar went from $11 to like $18 and some change. So you couldn't tell us.
Nothing.
Back up. When we talk about the $11 and $11 and $11.50, and she was telling me that I was working on a degree and I should be making more money. It's like, what are your goals? How much would you like to make? And I said, well, if I can find a job making like $13, I'll be fine. And she was like, $13?
What are you gonna do?
You have
you have a master's degree.
Well, I ain't got it yet. I'm still working on it.
Oh, again, no associates.
And she went to tell me like how much she was making in the military before she came, how much she was aiming to make, and it was a culture shock for me.
Yes.
Because I just had not known. I thought if you made $20 an hour, like, you were golden. Talking to her, that thing just changed me. It changed me from there on out, bumping into the whole HR thing. So seeing the HR girl and then going to grad school and having the opportunity to get an HR degree. And another friend of mine talked me into doing the extra classes. Did the extra classes and fell in love with it. It was like a perfect domino effect that walked me into my career. So I really thought it was so powerful to have Tar in this, because first things first, you can always get friends on the job. Second thing, you just have to be careful about who you are friends with, and don't be surprised when it's somebody you least expect. But I will say, I literally found my best friend there.
Oh, don't cry, friend. Okay.
This was my chick ever since. I fucking love her.
Ever since.
I love her. We have been friends ever since. Like, this ain't even on fake shit. Like, this is my girl. Like,
this chick.
She has taught me not just about, I don't think she even realized how much she impacted my career. Like, it's so funny because now that I'm going into the entrepreneur area, it's weird to hear you kind of, because she be getting exhausted with me talking about it. So it's weird to hear her get exhausted, because for years I've been doing resumes and writing papers, and she would always like bring me different people.
That's
and then she was like, you need to start a business in this. But I couldn't figure out the semantics. Like, it would seem so overwhelming, and I never thought I wanted to ever be an entrepreneur. So I think those were the things that had made me been like, this is too much. Like, no, but it's so weird, because where I am now, she's indirectly gave me the courage and even the optimism that I could do it.
But see, you don't understand. Like, and I'm not gonna cry because I'm a G. So time out. Give me a second. No, leave me alone.
Oh, gosh, let me see it all. Oh, you gonna mess up
I did my makeup. Let me.
I know.
Okay.
There you go. Good job.
Hold on. Let me get
Oh,
it in.
it's so watery.
I know. But I think the thing that just bothered me so much about you was like, you just did not see the potential. And I'm like, what is wrong with this girl? Like, she just, oh my God, like, this is like literally like, look at his ears. You know, I have a very small circle. all the time. But when I met Mika, I was like, oh my God, like this is like, you know, one of my very good, you know, close all-in-one friends. Like, you know, you got friends for certain, you know, aspects of your life or whatever. I'm like, I've gained another really good all-around person, and I just don't understand how you just didn't see how much you had going for yourself. Like, it bothered the shit out of me. And I'm like, okay, hard worker out the ass, will literally do anything you ask her to do, down to have fun all the time. Like, and if you can't figure it out, she either gonna figure it out or she knows somebody. She got a plug for literally anything that you can think of. Like, I just couldn't understand how you couldn't see. You're working on a master's degree. You holding it down as a single parent. Like, I just could not understand how you were just like content with like $13. And I was like, friend,
I'm gonna tell you how.
no.
Because when you don't know any better, you haven't seen any better. You haven't been exposed. You just don't know what you don't miss.
I guess.
And that was totally it for me at that moment.
I get, and I think that's another reason why, like, I'm really happy, you know, us on a million other levels as to why we became friends or whatever. Like, when you talk about it, I'm like, girl, I ain't do none of that. And you be like, yeah, you just really have no idea. And I'm like, but in my mind, it's the same, because talking to my grandparents and my mom and them, you know, they're like, oh, well, you know, girl, you making $13 an hour? You doing something. And I'm like, I'm sorry?
But I think going to the military exposed you more.
But the military exposed me more, not because my pay was better. It was
No,
just
just
like, it
around
just
other
showed
people.
me world outside of Mount Scorn, South Carolina. Like, being in the military, it gave me the trade that I'm in, which opened tons of doors or whatever. But I just never forget, like, I'm sitting next to this girl who's, I think I was maybe, what, 21, 22 at the time. And this girl's like 24, 25, and she's making like $75,000. I'm an E5. I might make like 35, 40, and that's like including all the benefits or whatever. So then, you know, I get out of the military, I start a job back in South Carolina making like $10 an hour, and I'm like, oh my God, I can't even pay my car note off of this. Like, what am I supposed to do? I left and went back to Colorado as a contractor.
I didn't know you said you came back from Colorado. Yeah.
And then, you know, at that point, like, little 22-year-old me making like almost $55,000, and I'm like, okay, like, this is what money is supposed to look like, which at that point, you know, $55,000, which is a great salary, for me at 22 was monumental.
And it was because she gave me that full story that I was like, wow. Like, it was, those numbers were so big to me that when you walked away, I literally sat down to do the math to see what it looks like per hour.
I don't know what it was per hour, but I knew it wasn't.
It was huge. And I mean, it was huge from what I had ever thought of at the time.
What is $11.50 an hour? What is that yearly?
Like, oh my God, don't you?
$12,000.
Well, don't you remember that? Don't you remember that Robert said he did your taxes? You had
$14,000. Like,
a year, full time.
He used to ask me, "Why are you going to work?" And I'm like, "Well, you know, I gotta pay bills." He's like, "You only make enough to cover daycare. You gotta do everything else." But I just needed that for me, so that was my real reason for working at PSA. But at the same time, I'm just like, this is miserable. Like, this can't be life. This will not be my life. And this ain't gonna be your life either.
Well,
you gotta get the hell out of here.
Well, and that was the thing. You said that to me then, and I knew that wasn't gonna be my life. I just didn't think very much further from that. I just thought it was gonna be my life because I hated the environment, I hated the culture. But it was so crazy because it was like, my life is so far from there now, you know? We were supposed to go to... One day we'll tell y'all a funny story. We'll do a whole nother video on funny stories because that gonna make this video too long. Hilarious. So we get the job. Or so we thought we had the job. Set your like, subscribe if y'all want the real story because it's funny, man. I'm gonna tell y'all how not to go running on these people's jobs. Like, y'all think y'all got a job, you really ain't got no job. And we literally decided that we were going to literally hit send on our resignations at the same time. We're like, boom. You're like, she was like, you ready? Hit send. So we hit send on our resignation at the same time. They take me in this back room and like pretty much interrogate me and was like, where are you going? Well, and I was like, oh, we just found a job. And she was like, well, I already know y'all found a job. Tara found a job. And it, well, what are you making? Because maybe we can help.
You can't help.
Maybe we can meet.
I'm finna meet no plug.
And I was like, well, I'm okay with the new salary. She's like, well, Tara already told me it's $18. We can't meet it in the house. Boom. Girl literally fired me on the damn spot. I get outside. So I thought Tara just like went to the bathroom or something.
No.
I text her and I'm like, hey, where are you? She's like, Rivers Avenue.
Go.
Me too. We may as well go get something to eat.
Let's go to Perkins.
That was all slow. It was just a level up from there on. From there on, making more money, better benefits, more freedom on the job. Like, my biggest takeaways are, I feel like you were instrumental in my career, in me starting to look at a job as more than a job and as a career. And during that time is when I realized, I think it's HR. But I will say, after I realized that it was HR, she was a big push to say, do it, good, da, da. And I was just like, okay.
Some people who need resumes.
Yes.
Like, I need a resume.
I would be on a hustle so hard because it was just so crazy. I had just finished, like, stopped nursing school in the middle. Was like, I ain't doing this. I hate it. I hate going to work. I had no plan on life. Getting food stamp, living in a place that go by income, which Tara couldn't even understand for the life. Another funny story we'll save for later.
Ooh.
Poor thing, she's so sheltered. My car had died because I wasn't taking it for maintenance. I wasn't taking it for oil change. I wasn't taking it for regular maintenance checkups, nothing. So I went and got a new car. And I was like, I want something reliable. And literally, that's why I went looking for a job. And I had enough money there, mainly because I was getting student loans from school, going to school, and then saving that as money to live on. Cool, I'm kind of okay, you know, getting a little tiny ass child support. Had a bunch of friends that know I do hair and stuff like that, so I didn't really ever had to worry about. I was in a place where life was just kind of smoothing, but I didn't really have much to look forward to besides my child growing up. She introduced me to a life where now I can do the things I can do. Whoever thought I'd go. Anyhow, I just want you guys to know that making friends is so amazing. This is my absolute best friend. I love her to pieces. She really triggered the start of my career. She really has taught me so much throughout the years. And not just about work, but totally about friendships, about learning people, about judging people, about feeling comfortable with life, about experiences in life. Even down to like the foods. Why would you take the food apart? Well, don't you want the experience that the people are providing?
Yes.
Like, it was just so much. And so finding friends in the workplace
It's possible.
it's so possible.
It's possible.
I'm not trying to say it's necessary, it gotta happen.
No.
It's just, that was one of the best things for us.
It was.
I'll say for sure.
Look at that.
So just keep on watching. This only gets better.
Stay tuned.
Stay tuned. Thank you, bestie.
Oh, good. I love you.
I love you too.
Bye. Oh, not bye yet.
Having friends is like not a difficult thing. You just need to manage your friendships. And I always tell y'all, before I was HR, I was Tamika. And when I'm no longer HR, I will be Tamika. So I can't bar off who's gonna be in my life based on that. My friends respect me enough to know what I'm willing to talk about, and they all know that if at any time I have to fire you, like, that's just what we got to do, and I'm gonna help you find another job, because I probably already gave you some tips to avoid getting fired anyhow, because you're my friend. I thank you guys so much for watching another Hey HR video. Guys, if you want to keep seeing all the craziness I got to offer through Hey HR, then definitely subscribe, hit those alerts, hit the like button, and I'll see you on the next video.